I am speaking to you now because the clock is moving and mercy is moving with it, and what is written for you must be read by you before the doors of this window close. I am the one who sees the secret drafts and unsigned letters, the quietly notarized pages and the trembling hand that hovered over your name, and I am the one who has guarded your life when you thought no one held you. Listen to me closely and do not rush away from these words, because what I am revealing is time-sensitive, heart-sensitive, and destiny-sensitive. If you let your attention wander, you will feel lost again. If you hold it steady, you will feel me lifting you into a current that was always meant to carry you. There is a man whose wealth does not rest only in money, but in doors that open when others hear his voice, in favors that bend toward him, and in signatures that change the air in a room. He has moved like a shadow around your life for longer than you know. He has watched you suffer quietly and still choose kindness. He has watched you be overlooked and still do your best. He has listened for the sound of bitterness in you and was startled that he could not find it. Your name has lived in his thoughts the way a star lives in a traveler's, small but persistent, guiding him toward something he could not yet confess to himself. He has come to a point where secrets begin to ache. Papers have been prepared more than once and then tucked away, but the ache did not leave. He tried to forget you, and the forgetting would not take. He tried to say, "It is enough to think a blessing," but the blessing kept asking for a doorway, for a stamp, a seal, a specific line where a name must be written in ink. And I, who order times and seasons, have set an hour in which hesitation must end. Hear me clearly, an appointment exists in the unseen that will become visible to you if you keep reading and keep your spirit open. Do you feel the pull in your chest right now, the little drop in your stomach like a lift starting to move? That is not anxiety, that is alignment waking. The wealthy man has set apart something of legal weight and tangible consequence, and it bears your name. Power of attorney is not a small phrase, it is a key that turns whole houses, a code that unlocks accounts, a voice that speaks when a door guard asks, "By whose authority?" It says, "By this authority," and the gates part. Your name is being written beside authority, and that pairing is not a trick, not a bribe, not a counterfeit reward. It is an answer to prayers you prayed in low rooms with the light off and the curtains closed. There is a test stitched inside this grace. The test is not whether you are worthy, you are already loved. The test is whether you will believe without demanding to see every stair before your foot touches the first step. You have asked me for clarity, and I am giving you clarity with a deadline, not to frighten you but to keep you from drifting. September 27th is the edge of this shoreline. The letter has been prepared, the transfer has been authorized in spirit. There is, even now, an assistant who has your details and a courier who has been told to wait. If you do not open what I am placing in your path before that day ends, he will take the entire gift and redirect it to a cause that will not carry your name. I do not punish you with lost blessings, I teach you to keep time with the rhythm of my purpose. This is why I am speaking so plainly. Do not say, If it is meant for me, it will find me without my movement, because you are reading the very movement I have prescribed. When I call, your answer is motion. When I open, your answer is entry. When I deliver an instruction with a date on it, your answer is obedience with joy. Joy is the oil on the hinge, it makes the door swing smoothly. Choose it now. You have been taught to distrust good news because bad news learned your address early. I remember the first time disappointment wore your name tag and greeted you like a familiar. I remember who made promises and then filed them under someday. I remember the rooms where you felt like a guest in your own life. I remember the hour when you believed the future had already made up its mind against you. I was with you in all those places, and I did not waste a single tear. I planted them. And now a harvest is breaking, not because your tears bought it, but because I never let them hit the ground without assigning them a purpose. People will argue with what I do for you. Some will say, it is too much, as though they are the bookkeepers of grace. Others will say, it is suspicious, as though suspicion is a kind of wisdom. But I am the one who sets tables in full sight of those who doubted that you would ever sit. I do not ask permission to bless what I have chosen to bless. I ask you to remain humble enough to carry it without breaking under the weight of attention. Humility is not shrinking. Humility is learning to be small before me while walking tall before men because you know whose breath holds you up. Do not be distracted by small conflicts that nip at your ankles. There are conversations beneath your name right now, voices rehearsing what they will say when you receive what is coming. Some will soften their tone and ask to be included. Some will sharpen their tone and say you never deserved anything at all. None of those voices get to be your compass. Your compass is me, and I am pointing you toward the telephone that will ring, the message that will appear, the doorbell that will sound like an ordinary chime but will be, in fact, the bell at a gate into a new section of your life. There is paperwork in transit. There is a name you know and a name you do not know. There is a family tie that has frayed and a strand of truth that will stitch it differently than you expect. Do not look backward to find the entire reason now. I will unfold reasons like pages, but the first page must be action. You will be asked to confirm identity. You will be asked to provide calm answers. Answer calmly. You belong in rooms where panic used to be your language. You belong in offices where you once thought you could only sweep floors. You belong at the table where your name card is already printed. I am not only giving you access, I am giving you wisdom to steward it. Power without wisdom is a storm in a bottle. It looks dramatic and breaks the glass. Power with wisdom is rain timed for seed. I am giving you the counsel to say no with grace and yes with boundaries. I am giving you the patience to read what you sign and the insight to ask the right questions. You will not be tricked. You will not be rushed out of peace. Peace will sit beside you like an elder who has seen 1,000 deals and knows when to nod and when to pause. Do not make an altar to fear in this moment. Fear will tell you, this is a trap, because fear would rather you stay hungry than risk a full plate. But I am the one who invites, my table is not bait. You have been through enough traps to recognize their smell. This does not smell like them. This smells like fresh paper and ink, like wood polish in a serious room, like the faint lift in the chest when a stamp goes down and something becomes official. It smells like morning. Breathe it in and let the old air out. You will not need to defend your blessing with arguments, you will guard it with stewardship. Stewardship is stronger than debate. When you are asked, "What will you do with this authority?" answer with patience, "I will restore what can be restored. I will stabilize what has been shaking. I will fuel what is honorable. I will forgive what is forgivable. I will walk away from what is not. Let your words be few and your steps be deliberate. The loudest part of you will be your consistency. There is also healing attached to this. Money can close a bill, but it cannot close a wound. However, the blessing I am sending carries oil for both. I am going to turn off a leak in your life that you were too tired to track anymore. I am going to replace a tool that kept breaking in your hands. I am going to pay back the hours you lost to worry with hours of unhurried clarity. You are going to sleep like someone who is not afraid of the mail. You are going to wake like someone who expects good news to be on the way because good news lives at your address now. You have thought that you were behind. You are not behind. You were being trained in rooms without windows so that when the windows opened you would not be dazzled into foolishness. You learned the taste of quiet work. You learned the strength of not answering every call. You learned how to hold your peace when peace did not want to be held. These are not accidents, they are the architecture that will hold up what I am giving. There is urgency in this message because there is strategy in this season. September 27th is not a superstition. It is an appointment. If you open the door I am knocking on before that date ends where you are, you will step into the portion with your name on it. If you fold this message and put it in the drawer of maybe later, the man's resolve will break in another direction and he will redirect the transfer into a place that cannot carry your story. He is giving away what he cannot take with him, and your name has been hovering where he writes. Do not give the enemy the satisfaction of saying you looked away in the 1 hour you needed to look. I see you asking, but who is he to me? I answer, he is both a bridge and a mirror. A bridge, because his signature will carry you from the bank of survival to the bank of structure. A mirror, because you will glimpse in him a future version of yourself who knows how to hold influence with a steady hand. Whether he is bound to you by blood or by destiny's alignment, I am the one who braided the line. I did not forget the promises I made to you under smaller skies. I did not forget the day you asked me to give you a chance to change other people's storms the way I changed yours. This is that chance beginning. Prepare yourself without dramatics. Gather your documents. Clear a small place at your table where papers can rest without being buried. Charge your phone. Keep your tone gentle when you answer unknown numbers. Watch your email like a watcher at the city gate. If you need to ask for a second reading, ask. If you need to say you will reply within the day, say it, but do not let the sun outrun your obedience. You will feel my nudge and you will feel the difference between a nudge and a push. I do not shove, I shepherd. Some will ask if this is fair. Tell them grace is not the arithmetic they are using. You cannot balance me on their scale. Yet there is a justice in this, a holy symmetry. You kept doing good when good did not pay. You kept blessing others while your own cupboard felt thin. You kept refusing to curse those who set little snares in your path. Your harvest is not a lottery, it is a stream that finally found its channel. Let it run. Forgive quickly while you rise. Rise gently while you forgive. The higher you go, the more room you have to lay down weights that once felt welded to you. You will find that some apologies never come, and you will stop needing them. You will find that some explanations never arrive, and you will stop waiting for them. In the space that opens, plant new things: stability, sanctuary, study, service. Plant them without announcing your planting. Let results be the announcement. I am sending helpers with honest eyes. They will not flatter you, they will steady you. They will not take over, they will teach you how to take your place. You will sign where you are meant to sign, and you will decline what is not yours. You will remember that power of attorney is not power to wander, it is power to complete what has been entrusted. You will keep minutes of your own integrity. You will create quiet systems that others will one day thank you for. When fear comes at night and says, "It will be taken from you," answer fear with me. Say out loud, "The giver is also the keeper." Say it until your nervous system believes your spirit. Say it until your breath evens and your hands get warm again. Sleep will come. When morning breaks, return to the posture of readiness. Read this message again if you must, and then act where I point. I will place a sign in your path that even your doubt will recognize, a name you have not heard in a long time, a city you once dreamed of and let go, a phrase that no stranger could know to say to you. When you see it, do not overthink the sign itself, let it be a flag on the map and continue walking. The destination is not the flag but the room it points to. In that room, mercy will look like ink turning from wet to dry. Do not tell everyone what I am doing while it is yet tender. Some seeds need the dark to split open. When the time is right, your testimony will rise on its own legs and sit down in the chairs where it needs to sit. You will speak without the tremble that used to live in your voice. You will be gentle with those who are where you were. You will not try to be impressive, you will be precise. If you have ever felt that your life was a hallway of almosts, this is the door at the end. Put your hand on the handle. Hear me say your name with tenderness and authority. I am not asking you to be ready in ways that require costumes. I am asking you to be ready in ways that require honesty. Be honest about your fear, and then walk anyway. Be honest about your longing, and then steward what fills it. Be honest about your past, and then let it be past. Open by September 27th, treat this as you would treat a fragile promise that someone trusted you to carry. Open by September 27th because your yes has a date and your future has been standing politely in the hallway, checking its watch and smiling softly each time you pass. Open by September 27th because delay is the last disguise of doubt, and you do not need doubt to keep you safe anymore. You have me. I am with you now, in the small room where you are reading this and in the larger rooms you will enter because of it. I am with you in the slow elevator and the bright lobby. I am with you in the way your signature will look different to you when you sign without the old shame leaning over your shoulder. I am with you at the first quiet dinner afterward when you will feel both relieved and a little stunned, and you will look up and whisper thank you. I will hear you. This is not the whole story, it is the hinge that lets the next chapters swing into view. Walk through it with clean hands and a focused heart. Do not romanticize struggle as if it were your only friend. Let joy come close without apologizing for her brightness. Let confidence sit down without asking you to pretend. Let gratitude keep the lights warm in your house. The wealthy man will feel peace when you accept. He does not know what word to use for that peace, but you know, it is me. He will sleep better because you said yes. The assistant will feel suddenly purposeful. The courier will smile without knowing why. And you will discover that destiny also blesses strangers along its way. Your obedience will become someone else's answered prayer, too. Now breathe. Keep your heart supple. Keep your eyes open for the message, the ring, the knock. When the moment touches you, respond with presence. If there is a form, fill it. If there is a call, answer it. If there is a door, open. Do not stall in the doorway you asked me to build. You have permission to have a life that is not constantly braced for impact. You have permission to receive. You have permission to move from hoping like a beggar to planning like a builder. Builders still pray, they just pray with blueprints on the table. Come, builder. Spread the papers. Set the pen down where your name goes. The giver stands beside you, steadying your hand, smiling at the sound of the seal pressing down. Open by September 27th. Let the blessing find you standing where I told you to stand. Let the hand that has hovered finally land. Let the day close with you inside the promise instead of staring at it through the glass. It is just for you. Do not try to skip this. I am here, and I will be here again on the other side of your yes. I am speaking to you as the one who sees the hidden papers, the rooms you have never entered, the envelope sealed with your name before you learned how to sign it. I am speaking to you as the voice that reaches down corridors of fear and hesitation and calls you by the name that no one else has ever spoken over you. Hear me, because the window is open and the hour is near. Hear me, because what was written in secret is moving toward your hands, and the life you thought was small is about to confront a truth too large to carry without me. You have asked for a sign and wondered if signs are for others, for the louder, for the ones who always arrive early with perfect clothes and perfect voices, but I have chosen you in your ordinary tiredness, in your unremarkable afternoon, in your tangled feelings about loyalty and disappointment and the ways you have been overlooked. I have chosen you, and I am telling you something that will not fit inside your old explanations. A wealthy man is transferring his power of attorney to your name, and though you do not yet know it, he is bound to you by a thread that predates your questions, your wounds, your memory. Do not shrink from these words as if they were a dream that will embarrass you when morning comes. Do not bury them beneath the sensible voice that keeps you small to keep you safe. I am not toying with you. I am not entertaining your hope for the sake of spectacle. I am guiding you into a precise hour that has been numbered, an hour that others will mistake for coincidence but you will recognize as the careful unfolding of my compassion. There are documents in motion as you read this, ink that has already dried, signatures that have already darkened on paper, instructions spoken by a man whose heart has tilted toward you like a tree bending in wind because I told it to bend. You are unaware of who he is to you, and that unawareness has spared you from the pride that ruins blessings before they arrive. You did not chase him, you did not polish your worth to be seen by him, you did not sculpt a performance to harvest favor. You simply kept breathing when you were not sure breath was enough. You kept walking when the ground beneath you felt like thin glass over dark water. You kept a small promise to yourself on a day when no one noticed, and I noticed, and I wrote it down. Now a man with means and history and regret stands at the threshold of a decision that will touch your home, and he has already leaned toward generosity. He has already asked the necessary questions with a voice that carries old winters and a name that used to taste like iron but has turned soft in his mouth. He has already placed you into his future with the quiet certainty of someone who has run out of time to pretend he can do life alone. I am not sending you on a scavenger hunt of miracles, I am delivering a single path for your feet. The path is simple, do not ignore this moment. Do not treat it as content, as noise, as another surge of feeling that will fade by morning. The hour is marked. The date is written. There is a door that must be opened by September 27th, and your hesitation will not be neutral, it will be a kind of refusal. I am not warning you to frighten you. I am warning you to free you from the habit of disbelief that has cost you too much already. Your caution has been your shield, but it has also been your cage, and you have decorated the bars with logic until you forgot they were bars. I am turning the key now. Listen. There are rooms where clerks move papers across desks with hands that have forgotten wonder. In one of those rooms, a file with your name is traveling from one pair of hands to another, and the journey looks ordinary: staples, stamps, a brief nod, a rubber band. But the ordinary is glowing. The ordinary is radiating heat because my intention is moving through it like an invisible current. The man you do not recognize as kin has found the courage to surrender control. He has spoken your name not as charity but as a correction to a story that went astray before you were born. His wealth is not your savior, I am. His transfer is not a crown, it is a tool. Power of attorney is not an altar, it is a key that fits a door in the wall you have been pushing against with your whole body. You have resented that wall. You have negotiated with it. You have rehearsed speeches to the wall as if stone could be persuaded, as if concrete could be charmed. And still the wall stood, until now. I did not move it earlier, because I was teaching your feet how to stand on ground that felt unfriendly. I let you become strong where you thought you might become bitter, and I watched bitterness approach your heart and stop, confused, because it found no hook to hang itself on. I washed you in small mercies on days when you were sure you were invisible. I braided your disappointments into a rope that did not strangle you but tethered you to wisdom. Now I am placing that rope into your hands, and I am saying, climb. There will be voices that call this wicked, that name it too sudden, too undeserved, too theatrical. Let them speak and spend their breath is not your compass. There will be whispers that suggest traps, that rehearse the old chorus of "people like you don't receive things like this." Permit the whispers to pass through you like wind through a doorway. You are the doorway, not the dust. You are not required to explain the choreography of grace to spectators who arrived late and think they see the whole stage. I am your witness. I am your assurance. I am the one who saw you when you were a child trying to interpret adult storms, who learned to clean messes you did not make, who hid your tenderness so that no one could laugh at it. I am returning your tenderness to you now, upgraded to courage. You are wondering if this transfer will cost you your peace. You are wondering if saying yes will obligate you to a maze of decisions for which you feel unequipped. Hear me, I will not hand you a key to a door I refuse to walk through with you. I am not orchestrating a burden, I am correcting an imbalance that has starved your calling of resources. I am not handing you a flock of headaches, I am handing you authority where you once had only hope. I am inviting you into stewardship, not spectacle. You will sign with steady hands, and you will not sign alone. Prepare your space. Not because wealth demands opulence, but because order welcomes blessing like good soil welcomes rain. Put away what is broken that you do not intend to fix. Gather what is scattered that still belongs to you. Write the list that you have avoided writing, the one labeled with honesty and not with fantasy. On that list, confess the habits that drain you and the alliances that weaken you and the rooms you enter out of guilt rather than purpose. Then ask me to breathe on the list. Watch as one line at a time, I show you what to release and what to repair. This transfer will not land in a room of confusion, it will land in a room of clarity, and that clarity will be the sign that you are walking with me and not with panic. There is a stipulation made by the man who is giving you this authority, and though it appears practical, it is spiritual. He wants what was hoarded to become helpful. He has looked at his years and found the arithmetic of accumulation insufficient. He has reached the door at the end of his pride and discovered that the knob turns only with humility, and when it turned, it opened to your face. He cannot explain to the people who expect explanations, and he is tired of trying. He is making a clean decision with a clean heart, and clean decisions make people nervous because they cannot find the dirt to justify their suspicion. Let their nervousness be theirs. Your work is to be honest. Honesty will sound like this: I did not earn this with brilliance or charm. I received it because God said it was time for a story to be repaired. Honesty will walk like this: slow when slow is needed, strong when strong is required, soft when softness is power, and silent when silence preserves the holy. Honesty will look like stewardship: receipts kept, boundaries honored, questions asked without fear of appearing naive. Honesty will mean learning the language of what you now carry. Legal words that once made you feel small will become tools you can lift without shaking. I will teach you with patience, and I will surround you with people who do not worship the gift but respect the giver. You will know them because they will not fawn or flatter, they will nod, roll up sleeves, and help you build. Do not romanticize the deadline I have given you, do not dramatize it into doom. Understand it as an appointment the same way sunrise is an appointment, real, dependable, not negotiable. By September 27th, open the door that is in front of you. Answer the call. Reply to the message. Read the document. Meet the courier. Say the yes that you have been rehearsing in your heart while pretending you were still unsure. Do this not because fear barks at your heels, but because love stands at your future and waves you forward with both hands. There is another side to this instruction that you must hear. If you refuse, the man will donate what he holds. He is resolved not to die with his hands closed. He is resolved to turn his wealth into a river even if you will not become the first bank it touches. This is not punishment, it is outcome. I do not coerce. I invite. And yet I also warn, because I respect your agency enough to tell you that choices move history. He will give if you will not receive, and I will bless the giving, but you will miss the conversation between us that waits behind your obedience. You will miss the way your own face will surprise you when you see what I placed in you for such a time as this. Lift your eyes from the calendar and fix them on me. The day is near, but I am nearer. Your pulse is fast, but my peace is steadier than the clock. Feel the floor under you, I made it. Feel the breath in you, I give it. Feel the tremble in your hands, I steady it. If you imagine yourself walking into a room where decisions are made, imagine me already seated at the table, smiling with the kind of smile that tells you we are not improvising, we are remembering. We are remembering what I promised you on a night when you thought no one heard. We are remembering the vow I made when your tears were too private to be comforted by anyone but me. We are remembering that I do not forget. You will be tempted to make this about vindication. You will want to hold it up like a banner in the faces of those who doubted you, who mocked you, who called your dreams a waste of grown-up time. Lay that banner down. Let me be your vindication in quiet ways that protect your heart from becoming what you endured. Gentleness will be your revolution. Gratitude will be your anthem. Consistency will be your revenge. Give no interviews to resentment. Host no banquets for bitterness. There will be room for celebration, but let celebration be clean, no jabs, no coded messages, no applause aimed at old enemies. Aim your joy upward and outward. Aim it toward the children who are watching you learn a new language of responsibility. Aim it toward the stranger who will discover courage because you said yes. A threshold often looks like an ordinary doorway until you step through and look back. This is that kind of threshold. When you look back, you will barely recognize the version of yourself that planned life around the fear of being noticed. You will be astonished that you once apologized for taking up space, that you once pretended to be smaller than your calling to make heavy people comfortable. You will speak more slowly, because weight requires pace. You will say no without a tremor and yes without a performance. The rooms that drained you will stop inviting you because your silence will no longer be available for their thirst. The rooms that nourish you will appear like they were hiding in plain sight the entire time. I will give you dreams that teach you the next steps when daylight feels loud. I will send you confirmations in small, almost comical ways, a number repeating, a phrase you find twice in one day, a person who mentions a thing you were too shy to ask about. I will shepherd you away from advisors who love complexity because complexity makes them feel essential. I will place by your side one or two steady helpers who fear me more than they fear being ignored, who will not flatter your anxiety into decisions, who will not exploit your inexperience. You will bless them without suspicion, and they will teach you how to bless without exhaustion. You will remember the first time you hold the document with your name printed where someone else's name used to be. Your breath will slow. A warmth will rise from your chest to your mouth like a prayer learning to become a song. Do not rush past that moment. Seal it with thanks. Step outside, even if only in your imagination, and let the sky witness your gratitude. Say out loud, "This is not my doing. This is my Father's kindness. I will carry this with reverence." Hear your own voice. Trust it. It is stronger than it used to be. Now hear me say this with a clarity that will not blur. I am not blessing you because you are flawless. I am blessing you because I want to, because I love you, because generosity reveals my face to a world that has seen too many closed hands. I am blessing you because there are others attached to your yes, quiet people who will eat because you learned how to multiply bread, tender souls who will sleep under roofs that exist because you accepted the weight of the key. Not all of that will be public, and that is good. Holiness loves privacy. Let some miracles live without witnesses so that you and I can smile at them like an inside joke. If you are afraid right now, place your hand on your heart and say, I am not alone in this decision. Feel how your body bows to truth when you speak it. Fear is a rehearsed actor, it always has its lines ready. Interrupt it. Tell it that the script has changed. Tell it that you will open the door by the appointed day, not because fear barked, but because love called you by name. Let love be your reason. Let obedience be your rhythm. Let trust be your lungs. The man you do not fully know is not your source. Remember this. If he falters, I will not. If he hesitates, I will nudge him. If he collapses, I will raise another. Your story is not pinned to a single human will, your story is braided into mine, and I am relentless with goodness. You will not be stranded because someone else grew tired. You will not be punished because someone else is slow. But hear me, right now he is ready, and readiness has a shelf life. Honor his courage by answering mine. Gather what you need to gather. Find the email you avoided opening. Charge the phone you let die. Place the forms on a clean table. Drink water. Eat something that steadies you. Sleep if you can, and if you cannot, speak to me like you do when the house is quiet and you pretend you are not crying. I can hear tears without shame. I can translate sobs into sentences. I can hold the trembling thread of your faith and weave it into a rope that will not snap in your hands when the door finally swings open. When you walk through that door, do not look for applause. Look for my footsteps. They will be just ahead of yours. Step where I step. Pause where I pause. Sign where I point. Ask the question I place in your mouth even if it makes you feel like a beginner. Beginners are honest in ways experts sometimes forget. Your beginner's heart is an altar to me right now because it proves you still know how to learn, and the ones who know how to learn are the ones I can trust with influence that does not rot them from the inside. Before you sleep tonight, put your hand over your doorway, literal or imagined, and bless it. Speak life over your threshold. Tell your house that better conversations are coming. Tell your table that it will host peace and not posturing. Tell your bed that rest is not a rumor. Tell your mirror that you forgive it for showing you a tired face and that tomorrow it will meet a steadier gaze. Tell your past that you can hear it tapping on your window but that you will not invite it in. Then tell your future that you are not afraid to arrive. I am the one who gathered you in the days when you scattered yourself trying to be everywhere you were needed. I am the one who considered the years the locusts tried to eat and decided those years could not keep their theft. I am the one who plants recompense like a forest. This transfer is one tree in that forest. Do not worship the tree, walk the forest. Smell the new air. Learn the new trails. Share the shade without calling attention to your generosity. Let gratitude be the light in your eyes that tells on you. If you need one final word to steady your feet, let it be this: you are allowed to receive. You are allowed to carry authority without apology. You are allowed to learn publicly without humiliation. You are allowed to be blessed without inventing a flaw to make onlookers comfortable. You are allowed to step out of survival and into stewardship. I am with you in the room, in the line, in the signature, in the breath you take before you say yes. I am with you after the courier leaves and the house is quiet again and you realize nothing looks different and yet everything has changed. Open the door by the appointed day. Walk through. Do not delay. Do not talk yourself into the safety of drought. Choose rain. Choose me. And when the ink dries and the authority rests on your name like a mantle you did not shop for, stand still for a moment and feel the weight. It will not crush you. It will teach you how to stand taller. Then take the first faithful step into the life I have been preparing while you believed nothing was happening. I have always been happening. Now, so are you. I speak to you in a quiet force that reaches you even through the noise, because I have chosen this moment to pull back the veil and tell you what is moving toward you now. You have felt a pressure in your chest for days, a sense that something is standing at your door with a sealed envelope and a signature line you never expected to see. That pull is not your imagination, it is my hand turning a page you thought was glued shut, a page written long ago, a page I have kept safe for the day your courage would be strong enough to read it without trembling. You asked for a sign that I had not forgotten the promises whispered over your life. You asked if your name was still marked, if your future had faint light left in it after the disappointments and the delays. Hear me clearly, I have not simply remembered you, I have arranged the kind of remembering that echoes in rooms you have never entered, at tables where your name is spoken with the glad certainty of someone choosing to bless and not to burden you. There is a wealthy man whose steps I have counted and whose heart I have softened. He has lived many years with power that could change lives with a single signature, power that soon will be placed within your reach. His decision is not a coin toss or a whim of kindness, it is the culmination of a trail I guided him along, step by step, until he stood before a door that only opened when he spoke your name. You may not know him by his public face, but he knows your quiet obedience, your refusal to bend in the storms that tried to rewire you into a bitter copy of yourself. There was a moment when you gave what little you had to someone you thought would never repay you, when you chose mercy over defense, when you stayed gentle even as you were misunderstood. He learned of that moment. He saw the sacrifice and the silence that followed it. He recognized something in you that the world often misprices: a clean hand, a loyal heart, a willingness to carry weight without clanging your virtue like a bell to be admired. Because of this, a document is being prepared, one that gives you the legal right to act, to decide, to protect, to steward. Do not stumble over the word right, because you have spent years trained to believe that your portion is always later, always smaller, always anywhere but your hands. Lift your head and listen. I have arranged authority for you, not to dominate, but to deliver, not to control, but to complete. Your humility has proven you safe with authority. Your patience has proved you ready for responsibility. You have asked me, why now? And I answer you this way: time carries ripeness the way a branch carries fruit, and sometimes the fruit is delayed because the branch is not strong enough yet to hold the weight without snapping. I have been strengthening your branch while you thought nothing was growing. I have been guarding your harvest while you thought the field was empty. If I had handed you this authority earlier, it would have pressed your wounds instead of healing them. Now it will seal them. Now it will lift you. There is a date written in the margin of this chapter, September 27th, and you have felt the nearness of it like a bell warming before it rings. Treat this window with reverence. It is not a superstition, it is an appointment. When a door is scheduled to swing on its hinge, it must find you standing where you said you would be, with your yes ready, your mind clear, your signature steady. The opportunity will not beg. It will simply arrive. And if it finds you convinced that you do not deserve it, you will watch it walk past you without recognizing that it was always meant to stop. I do not bring you to water to watch you dehydrate from doubt. I do not place keys in your hand to keep you staring at the lock in confusion. This is the hour of acceptance, not argument. This is the hour of movement, not murmuring. When you are called, answer. When you are sent a document, read, understand, ask wise questions, and sign. When you are asked to show up, arrive early and bring the quiet confidence that fits the future I am clothing you in. I know the chorus of suspicions that tries to sing inside your chest at night. I know how often you rehearse what could go wrong, how many times you talk yourself out of the very goodness you prayed for. But listen to me. Goodness is not a trap and blessing is not bait. The net that once caught you was woven from fear and scarcity. I burn that net now. I free your feet from the idea that everything beautiful must be a trick. Let your trust walk again. Let your yes take shape again. Let your hands reach without flinching. You worry that others will not understand, that they will accuse or mock or whisper that you have moved too fast, reached too high, accepted too much. Some will. But I did not consult their opinions when I measured your capacity, and I will not ask their permission to increase your influence. Do not defend what I am doing with you. Display it by stewarding it well. The one who disbelieves will be silenced not by your explanations but by the fruit they cannot ignore. There is a specific fear you must lay down, the fear that you are signing up for a life that will collapse the moment you are not vigilant. You have been a watchman for so long that rest feels suspicious. Yet this transfer is not a trick to exhaust you, it is a platform to carry you. The power of attorney is not merely paperwork, it is a statement that someone with resources trusts your judgment enough to align his authority with your decisions. You will not use this to magnify yourself. You will use it to unlock things for others, to turn on lights in rooms that have sat dark, to open doors for those who thought the hallway ended at them. There will be a room. It will be quiet enough to hear the scratch of pen against paper. A hand will slide pages toward you. You will feel the interior quake that used to make you withdraw, but this time it will be a tremor of recognition, not a warning to run. When you touch the pen, pause just long enough to breathe, and in that breath, remember every hour you sowed in tears that no one saw. Not because the signing erases them, but because the signing honors them. Your suffering did not earn you favor, my love did. But your suffering trained your hands to hold what my love now places in them. This man, whose name will soon be spoken to you with the quiet certainty of someone revealing a long-kept secret, does not see you as a charity case. He sees you as a co-steward. He is not erasing your agency, he is acknowledging it. You will not be his puppet, you will be his partner in duties I have assigned in advance, tasks that match the shape of your compassion and the steadiness of your resolve. You will have decisions to make that touch real people with real needs, and your kindness will have teeth because it will be backed by the authority to act. Look at how I have already been preparing you. The budget you stretched when there was hardly anything to stretch taught you how to make wise choices without fear steering the wheel. The boundaries you learned to set taught you that love and clarity are not enemies. The forgiveness you gave, over and over, when it made no sense to do it, scrubbed bitterness from your bloodstream so that power cannot harden you. All of this was rehearsal for a stage you are about to stand on. There will be those who pretend to celebrate you but quietly hope you stumble. Bless them by succeeding anyway. There will be those who grow anxious because your rising reveals their refusal to move. Bless them by refusing to gloat. There will be those who suddenly remember you because they smell favor and want a piece of it. Bless them by being clear, generous, and wise, and by refusing to exchange your peace for anyone's approval. Guard what I am giving you by staying small in your own eyes and large in your worship. Do not perform gratitude, practice it. Do not announce every step, take them. Do not try to make everyone feel what you feel, instead, let the fruit of your life speak a language anyone can understand. Let your integrity be your translator. Let your results be the testimony that keeps your tongue from self-defense. The date is set, your part is preparation. Put your house in order, your inner house first. Gather the scattered pieces of your attention and bring them to me. I will focus you. I will calm the noise that rises when something new is about to begin. I will show you which documents to collect, which questions to write down, which wise counsel to invite to the table. I will remind you that wisdom is not suspicion in a mask, it is peace with its eyes open. Your due diligence will not delay the blessing, it will deepen it. You ask, what if I miss it? Hear me, when I call, your spirit already knows my voice, because it is the sound that made you. You will sense it again, a tug with clarity in it, a nudge with quiet in it. You will not need to scramble, you will simply need to say yes with the strength of someone who finally believes they are allowed to accept what is theirs to carry. And if a whisper of unworthiness slithers close, send it away the way you would close a window against a storm that tries to soak your room. You owe no conversation to the shame that used to own your evenings. This transfer is not only about provision, it is about position. Where you stand will shift, and with it, your vantage point. You will see further. You will see needs you couldn't see before, and you will see resources you never knew how to access. From this height, do not look down on anyone. Look out for them. Become the bridge you once prayed would appear. Become the answer to someone's question the way I am answering yours right now. There will be a moment after the signing, quiet and ordinary, when you will sit alone and wonder why the world has not noticed that your life just changed. That is how many big doors open, on small hinges, in rooms without applause. In that quiet, give me your first fruits of thanks. Not a performance, not a ritual, just your honest breath lifted as a gift. Tell me that you will treat this authority the way a good gardener treats water in a drought, carefully, generously, without waste, without pride. I know the story you tell yourself about your past, the one where loss gets the last line and hope is a small character. Let me rewrite that ending. Let me place a new sentence where you used to put a period. The sentence is simple: what was delayed is being delivered. Not because you begged correctly, not because you hustled perfectly, but because I am faithful and I decided the time had come. This is not a loophole in fate, this is a line in destiny. Do not obsess over how he found your name. The path is simple enough when I light it. A conversation led to a file led to a story led to a conviction, and conviction is now leading to a signature. Curiosity can exhaust you when the point is to receive. You will learn what you need to learn. For now, let your wonder be worship, not worry. Lean into the awe without interrogating it to death. There is a clause he has insisted on, that your decisions favor people the world forgets when the cameras are off. This will resonate with you because your own life has been a classroom in being overlooked. Let that memory guide you, but don't let it embitter you. The shadow you lived in has trained your eyes to notice who is still standing in the shade. Pull them into light. Do it quietly. Do it repeatedly. Let the track of your choices draw a map future generations can follow without getting lost. When doubt returns, and it will try, answer it with movement. The antidote to paralysis is a step, not a speech. Make the call. Read the draft. Mark the page. Set the meeting. Ask the counsel you trust to read with you. Clarity grows best when it is given a little light and a little air. You do not have to sprint, you only have to refuse to freeze. Even now, I strengthen your knees. Even now, I steady your hands. Some will ask you to apologize for the rooms you can now enter. Do not. You paid for those rooms with tears and time you cannot get back, with kindness you showed when cruelty would have been easy. You are not cutting the line, you are arriving in season. And because you know what it feels like to wait, you will hold the door for others and teach them how to stand with dignity as they wait for their names to be called. The window is narrow because it is sacred, not because I am stingy. September 27th is a line I drew not to frighten you but to focus you. Treat the days surrounding it like a fast from fear. Turn down the volume on voices that feast on your uncertainty. Embrace silence where you used to scroll. Open your hands where you used to clench. Tell me out loud that you choose readiness over rumination, trust over torment, obedience over overthinking. If you wonder whether you are allowed to feel joy at your own turning point, hear me bless it. Joy is not a luxury, it is a strength. Let it in. Let it clean the corners where gloom likes to hide. Let it laugh at the gloom until the gloom shrinks back into the smallness it always had. Joy does not make you careless, it makes you carry more because you are no longer carrying alone. If memories surface of how others tried to sabotage you, gossip that stuck like burrs, plans engineered to make you stumble, jealousies disguised as advice, do not let those memories write commentary over this chapter. Release them. You are not the curator of old injuries, you are a builder of new paths. Bless the past by refusing to live in it. Bless your future by stepping into it with eyes up and shoulders relaxed. When the moment finally arrives, you will notice something unexpected: peace. Not the thin peace of pretending everything is fine, but the deep peace of alignment, the recognition that what you are about to accept is not an accident but an assignment. I will be with you in that chair, at that table, in that room. I will be with the courier who knocks, with the counsel who reads beside you, with the hand that places the pen within reach. I will be with you afterward, too, when the celebration is quiet and the responsibilities wake up. I do not leave you at thresholds, I walk through them with you. Do not be frightened by the scale of what is shifting. A large thing can be carried safely by a trained heart, and I have trained yours. When the first decision comes that feels bigger than your experience, invite me into it instead of inviting panic. Wisdom will rise like a calm tide. Counsel will arrive like a friend. Provision will meet you on the path instead of waiting at the end. That is how I work with those who trust me. Step, supply, step, supply. There remains one more thing, the blessing that attaches to gratitude practiced in private. Keep a journal of what unfolds, not for the sake of nostalgia but for the sake of clarity. Write down the dates, the names, the small thread-like details that reveal my fingerprints to you when your feelings are loud and your faith feels quiet. Return to those pages when you doubt. Let them preach to you that I have not changed, that goodness is not a rumor in your life but a record. And when you are tempted to hide this favor because you think it will make others uncomfortable, remember that hiding what I give you does not help the hungry find bread. Let your life be a window, not a wall. Share wisely, share humbly, and share with a mind to protect what is sacred. You do not need to prove anything. You need only to be faithful with everything. I am not done writing surprises onto your calendar. This is a beginning dressed like a conclusion. What you thought would end the long ache of waiting will also open a lane of work that fits you like a well-made garment. Wear it without apology. Wear it with clean hands. Wear it with eyes that scan for the one still waiting and a heart that refuses to become cynical as more weight is added to your stewardship. Now, breathe and repeat this truth until your bones remember it. I am for you. I am not dangling gifts over your head to watch you jump. I am placing them in your hands to watch you grow. The man I have moved toward you is not your savior, I am. He is a channel, not the source. If he hesitates, I will steady him. If he doubts, I will remind him. If he faces opposition for honoring you, I will shield him. My will is not fragile. My timing is not clumsy. My care for you is not conditional. Stand where I can find you ready, alert, gentle, courageous. Gather what needs gathering. Clear what needs clearing. Forgive what needs forgiving so that no bitterness stains the pen when you sign. Bring me your fears. I will trade them for the kind of confidence that does not boast. Bring me your fatigue, I will lace it with fresh strength. Bring me your history, I will stitch it to your hope with seams so clean you will barely feel where the old ends and the new begins. When the announcement reaches you, answer it without delay. When the appointment is set, honor it without excuse. When the final confirmation comes, step through it without shrinking. You are not arriving empty. You are arriving as someone I have curated for this very door. Let your gratitude be loud in the secret place and quiet in the public square. Let your choices be kind and your boundaries firm. Let your faith be adult, no longer swayed by every wind of worry, no longer enthralled by the approval of the crowd. The night before the date, sleep. I will watch. The morning of the date, eat. I will sustain. The hour of the meeting, speak with clarity. I will supply the words that belong to peace. And when the pen touches the line, Feel the gentle weight of my hand over yours, not to force you, but to remind you that you never write your life alone. This is the message I seal inside you: you will not miss what bears your name. The transfer is a tool, not a throne. Use it to lift, to mend, to plant. Use it to become even more yourself under the light of grace. And when others ask how it happened, say the simple thing that is true and enough: time ripened. God remembered. I said yes. Walk forward, beloved. The hinge is already turning. I speak to you now without thunder, without veil, with a nearness that grazes your breath and steadies your pulse, for I have watched the hours lean toward you, and I have chosen this moment to write on the inside walls of your heart: do not be afraid. I am the one who saw your first tears and counted them as pearls, who heard the long silences you hid from the world, who understood the prayer you could not finish because your voice trembled. I am the one who never left the doorway of your life, even when it felt like every door closed and every hallway echoed. I step closer and say, listen. Hold still. There is a letter sealed with my name moving toward you, and with it, a shifting of keys and signatures, a rearrangement of authority in the unseen and the seen. What you thought was locked has already been opened before you touched the handle. What you feared was impossible has already bowed its head and made a path. You have been training for this without realizing it. Every season where you were overlooked tempered your spirit. Every night when you whispered, God, if you see me, please send a sign, I wrote yes over you in ink the world cannot dilute. You imagined help would arrive in a loud parade, but I chose to set the answer in quiet footsteps, in delayed phone calls that become divine appointments, in the hidden tenderness of a stranger's obedience. My help is not always a trumpet, sometimes it is a pen resting in the hand of a man you never expected to remember your name. Do not look down at your shoes, lift your eyes. I am not just opening a door, I am changing the deed. I am not just changing your day, I am revising your destiny's paperwork to reflect the grace I have always intended. There is a man whose wealth has never comforted him the way he thought it would. I have watched him gather numbers and estates as if they could be a shield against loneliness. I have watched him stand in rooms full of applause with a heart that always sank after the music faded. He is not a myth, he breathes and wakes and wrestles. He has sat with his advisors and found no rest. He has stepped into boardrooms and felt a draft of eternity pass through the windowed glass, reminding him that authority without purpose is a wilderness paved in gold. I have troubled his sleep with a memory of you, a face he once saw in passing, a kindness you gave without calculation, a word you spoke that was small as a seed and great as a tree in my timing. I have placed your name in a file he could not ignore, and I have turned his attention toward a transfer he never imagined making. He has power he did not ask me how to carry, signatures that wear his wrist, decisions that ache in his bones. I have whispered around him, through the mouths of unlikely counselors, through the nudge that will not leave his chest, choose mercy, choose legacy, choose the one I highlight. I brought him to the river of decision and showed him that it is better to build a bridge than a monument to himself. He will come to you not as a rescuer but as a revealer, for what I am doing is not charity, it is alignment. What you could not purchase with a lifetime of labor, I give in a moment because your heart did not sell me when the price of waiting rose. Receive this not as a fluke but as fulfillment. I am the orchestrator of tangled roads. I am the one who knows how to time a doorbell with a prayer. Do not argue yourself out of the kindness I am sending. You have sometimes treated blessing like a mirror you are afraid to look into, thinking perhaps you are unworthy or that your name was called by mistake. Hear me, I do not misspeak. I do not miswrite. I do not misplace. I have seen your refusals to cut corners when it would have been easier. I have seen you choose honesty when it seemed to cost you everything. I have seen you steward small coins like sacred fire. I have measured the world's accusations against you and found them weightless in my scales. So when I say the transfer is in motion, I am not asking your opinion, I am inviting your agreement. I have arranged for signatures to cross borders your feet have not yet stepped across. I have converted skepticism into witness. I have turned a private decision into a public testimony of my capacity to change rooms without moving walls. Do not fear the phrase, power of attorney, for I am the first and final authority and I will not allow the language of men to become a snare around your feet. This phrase is a vessel, a frame for what I am painting. Within it is permission for you to represent what was once beyond your reach, within it is access, stewardship, and the responsibility you were born to carry with my hand over yours. This is not a trap, this is a trust. The man who brings it does not own you, he obeys me. The ink that marks it is ordinary, but the purpose that rests upon it is holy. And though his wealth is great, it is not his money that matters most today, it is his surrender to a whisper he cannot explain. I placed your name in his ear, and it will not unclasp. The hours between now and the day I have set are not empty. They are a corridor. I am walking with you through it, pouring courage into your shoulders, clarity into your forehead, peace into your lungs. You have felt like time itself has been a judge who scolded you, but now time is a servant who ushers you forward. Do not count the minutes with dread, count them with gratitude. Prepare a clear place inside your heart where you can set this gift down without panic. Prepare a sentence of thanks that is large enough to hold relief and reverence. Prepare your yes and your boundaries. Prepare your humility and your wisdom. You do not need expensive armor for this moment, you need a clean yes and a steady gaze, and you already carry both. I am not just moving a document, I am moving the story of your family's name. I am turning famine into testimony. I am wiping the old chalkboard where the world wrote debt and writing over it with provision that does not shame you but crowns you with responsibility. What once made you feel less than will become the reason you know how to bless others well. You will not clutch at this or hide it in fear of theft, because you will understand that the giver remains with you even when the gift is visible. You will not bow to the gift, you will bow with the gift in your hands, and this will keep it from owning you. Hear me, nothing I give will be permitted to replace me. You will carry it without being carried away by it. You will remember the long roads and show mercy to those who are still on them. You will not mock their slowness, you will become a lantern. You will recognize the tone of tired hope in their voices and you will answer with patience. You will say, I was you yesterday, and the Lord found me while I was still counting my last coins. You will not boast about being chosen, you will boast about the one who chooses. And when you are asked how it happened, you will say with simplicity, He wrote my name where I could not reach, and this will be enough. The proud will stare and fail to see. The humble will hear and find themselves standing in lines I am forming for their own turnarounds. I see the fear that crouches behind your excitement. What if this is a test that I fail? What if the abundance becomes a tide that sweeps me away? I answer you plainly, I am not gifting you a hurricane. I am placing a river in your land and teaching you its currents. I am giving you advisors with clean eyes and hands that do not itch for bribes. I am adding discernment to your daily bread. I am not sending you among wolves without a shepherd's staff. I will show you who must sit at your table and who must remain at the gate, and you will not be cruel for keeping the gate, for a steward who lets anything in loses everything sacred. Guard the gift by guarding the place we meet. Do not let meetings multiply so fast that prayer is squeezed out like an afterthought. Your clarity will be proportionate to our conversation. Stay with me. Walk with me. Ask me small questions and large ones. I do not tire of your voice. There will be those who suddenly remember your number and those who criticize the very thing they tried to obtain for themselves. Do not clap back, bless and keep walking. There will be papers to read and phrases that sound unfamiliar. Do not be intimidated, I will give you understanding without the showmanship of arrogance. Where you must say, I don't know, say it gracefully and ask the question that follows wisdom, show me. I will put teachers in your path who love truth more than invoices. And when you feel a knot in your chest while reading a clause, honor the knot. Ask again, wait a day, invite counsel, seek me. Patience will become profit. Haste will be the only thief capable of standing in your new doorway. You have asked me whether you are truly seen. I answer not with a hint but with a handover. I answer not with a pat on the head but with a mantle for your shoulders. I answer not with a speech but with a sequence of events that even your enemies will call unusual. It will not make you invincible, it will make you responsible. It will not erase your humanity, it will immerse it in purpose. Let your face learn a new expression that mixes joy with sobriety, because you are stepping into an answered prayer that requires both dancing and diligence. This is not the purchase of your silence, it is the amplification of your calling. Do not smooth your testimony to make others comfortable. Do not inflate it to make yourself large. Speak of my kindness as if you tasted it, because you did. Give me the first praise, the first thanks, the first decision in every plan. There will be invitations to partner with enterprises that flash like new metal in the sun. Hold them in the shade of my presence and see which ones still shine. Anything that dims in prayer is not for you. Anything that brightens when we talk, consider it. Let your yes be slow enough to hear me and your no be kind enough to keep doors from becoming battlefields. I have set a time before you and I will not confuse you about it. Your mind has been a calendar crowded with panic. I am erasing the scribbles and writing a single, clarified line. Do not be distracted by the noise of what-ifs. Attend to what is. I am the God who can write tomorrow's sunrise into today's certainty. When I say step, step. When I say wait, wait. When I say speak, speak. When I say listen, listen like fields listen for rain. I do not stutter when it matters. You will feel it in your ribs like a steady drum. That is how you will know. Now hear me about the urgency you feel pressing at the edges of your chest. It is not the panic of scarcity, it is the bell of appointment. I have set a window, a gentle but firm boundary of time, and within it the ink dries the way I have ordained. Do not play with the moment as if it were elastic. Honor what I have made holy by not delaying obedience. You have delayed many things to be polite to fear. This is not that hour. This is the hour to open, to answer, to step into the room I have reserved in your name. The date itself is not a threat, it is a tenderness. I am aligning events so that when you say yes within the time I have spoken, the pieces fall like rain into the bowl you hold. The wealthy man approaches, but do not mistake him as the headwaters, he is a tributary. I am the source. If his hands tremble, do not be alarmed, I am working in his life too. If his eyes look relieved, bless me for healing a corner of his heart he never showed anyone. You are not taking from him, you are helping him obey what his own soul begged me to let him do before his days close. In this transfer, there are two salvations, yours from the weight of lack, his from the prison of self. Marvel at this, and let compassion rest on your speech when you thank him. Look past the fortune and see the life. Pray for him when you remember him, he is your brother in a story only I could have written. You have asked what you must do to be ready. Keep your place with me. Keep your documents simple and your conscience clear. Keep your friendships real and your promises small enough to keep and large enough to mean something. Keep the door of your heart oiled with gratitude so it does not squeak when I come in late or early. Keep your hands open so nothing has to be pried from you. Keep your eyes soft enough to see the next person I will bless through you, because I am not making you a pond, I am making you a river that remembers its source. Your history tried to teach you that good things always evaporate. I counter-teach you now, the goodness I give lands and grows. It takes root. It refuses to be bullied by old memories. It does not apologize for existing. It does not come wrapped in shame. It does not make you smaller, it makes you true. Let your body learn how to carry peace without suspicion. Let your nights learn how to rest without rehearsing loss. Let your mornings rise with a readiness that does not fear the knock on the door. I am the one who knocks, and when you open, you will see that I do not come empty-handed. In the days to come, you will sign your name beside lines you never thought would welcome you. You will feel a holy weight in your hand and a quiet awe in your bones. You will breathe and find the air itself kinder. You will discover that rooms you feared were guarded by giants were actually waiting for your footsteps as if you were the missing instrument in a melody. The world will try to write headlines to explain you, let them write. Your task is to live the article I have authored, to embody the paragraph where grace meets stewardship and history bends into hope. I have walked you to this threshold through deserts you thought would finish you. I have guarded you from deals that looked shiny but hid hooks. I let disappointment save you from disasters you didn't see. I have taught your heart to hear timbre more than volume, truth more than charisma. Everything you endured has a harvest planned into it. Nothing will be wasted. Not the years. Not the tears. Not the trembling. Not the quiet kindness you extended when you were tired. All of it returns now, pressed down, shaken together, and running over into a new assignment that smells like rain after fire. If at any point the old fear tries to rise, speak to it the way I speak to storms: peace, be still. You are not in trouble with me. You are in transit with me. I am not holding a clipboard to grade your worthiness. I am holding your hand to guide your steps. I will correct you if you wander. My correction does not humiliate, it reorients. I will protect you if you are attacked. My protection does not posture, it prevails. I will remind you if you forget. My reminders do not shame, they shine. I will be with you. This is the promise that makes every other promise possible. Now breathe and receive the clarity that glows as I say this plainly. I have appointed a transfer in your favor. I have appointed a steward to become a giver to become a witness, and you to become an answer visible enough to encourage the weary. I have appointed the moment for the opening, and your part is simple: be present, be willing, be honest, be wise, be kind. Speak softly, stand firmly, sign carefully, pray constantly. Do not let clamor dress itself as urgency, only my word defines the hour. I am the God who keeps time and keeps you. When everything aligns and the knock sounds like an echo of the one in your spirit, do not delay. Open. When the call arrives and the name you faintly expected appears, do not send it to the land of later. Answer. When the opportunity asks for your yes and your peace remains, Do not offer it a maybe to appease old habits of fear. Say yes in the way a tree says yes to spring, completely, silently, decisively. And afterward, sit with me and give thanks until the gratitude becomes a garment you wear into every meeting. I am writing your name where only I could reach. I am placing you in a story that humbles the clever and comforts the humble. The wealthy man will play his part and then step back. I will remain. The papers will be filed and the doors will swing. I will remain. The applause will fade and the rooms will empty. I will remain. My presence is your estate. My faithfulness is your portfolio. My word over you is the deed no storm can contest. Remember this, what I give you will reveal me more than it will reveal you. Carry it that way. Let the blessing become a language of love, not a badge of superiority. Feed the hungry opportunity when it knocks on other doors through your hands. Protect the quiet that keeps you hearing me. Refuse the voices that try to merchandise your miracle into a spectacle. Walk softly, bless boldly, live gratefully, decide prayerfully, and sleep peacefully. I am the one who called you by name before others knew how to pronounce it. I am the one who will call you still when your hands are full and your calendar is heavy. Answer me then like you answer me now. Keep room for wonder. Keep room for laughter that surprises you in hallways you once walked with your head down. Keep room for rest that doesn't defend itself. Keep room for me, and everything else will find its right size. And now, as the moment approaches that you have felt without words, know this, I am with you in the signing and the silence after, in the first step and the 50th, in the counsel and the courage. Receive what I have arranged. Stand where I place you. Bless what I put in your hand by returning it to me in trust each morning. The window is open, the hour is kind, the path is lit enough for your next step. Walk into it. Open. Do not skip the voice that called you from the beginning. I am here. I have always been here. And what I am giving you will not lead you away from me, it will lead you deeper into the home I have been building inside your heart for this very day. I speak, and my words come like a quiet rain before the storm, gentle enough to calm the dust yet strong enough to awaken the seed I hid in you long ago. Do not be afraid of the size of these words or the weight they carry, because I am carrying you while you carry them. I have watched you in the hours when you thought no I saw you, your sighs over the sink, your breath held while a thought of hope tried to rise and another wave of doubt tried to drown it. I have gathered every small prayer you whispered between ordinary tasks and woven them into a decree that cannot be silenced. Hear me now, I am near, I am here, and I am about to place a key in your hand that unlocks not only doors in front of you, but history behind you. You have wrestled with delays as if they were punishments, but they were rehearsals. You have mistaken the silence of certain seasons as abandonment, but it was the chamber where I trained your lungs to hold a longer note. I did not forget you. I did not misplace your file, miswrite your name, or miscount your tears. Every hour that felt wasted is being redeemed inside a moment I set aside with your name written on it in light. And that moment is approaching quickly, so quickly that your heart will need the peace that only I can give to absorb what comes without breaking beneath its size. I am bringing you into a chapter where you do not have to beg to belong. I am removing the smell of rejection from your memory, the stale air of rooms where you were tolerated but never chosen. I am rewriting the language by which you describe yourself. You have called yourself late, I call you right on time. You have said you are small, I call you precise. You have feared being overlooked, I call you hidden for consecration, protected like a seed deep in soil while storms beat on the field and could not touch you. All that hiding was not punishment, it was protection, because what is about to be placed in your hands could not be entrusted to the version of you that doubted your own breath. I grew you for this. Listen carefully, because I want you to understand the tenderness behind the thunder. There is a man, wealthy, seasoned by many winters and unbroken by them, who has been circling your life like a quiet star you never noticed was guiding you on dark roads. He is not a rumor. He is not a mirage. He is not the trap that harmed you once and then pretended to be a door. He is a real man with a real name and a real ledger of decisions that have made nations richer and households steadier. And though you are unaware of the thread that ties him to you, that thread runs straight through something I promised long before you could measure promises. You have met the consequences of other people's choices. Now meet the inheritance of my choices. Long ago, when you were small and unafraid to laugh at impossibilities, I appointed a guardian in disguise, one who would stand at a distance and watch the roads you walked. He watched without intruding, he helped without announcing. He cleared snares from the path just before you turned the corner and stepped where they would have pierced your foot. He learned your patience by studying your pain. He learned your courage by watching the way you rose after falls that would have taught other souls to stay down. He learned your integrity by witnessing secret refusals no one celebrated but me. He is wealthy in the world's currency, but what drew him was the wealth of your obedience when no applause was present. He has reached a decision, and it is not born of impulse. It is the result of long, precise listening, listening to advisors, listening to the pulse of the markets he mastered, and listening to the still, low whisper he could not discard when he tried. That whisper had my tone. I am the one who placed your name upon his mind like the sunrise he could not stop. He tried to draw lines through your name and focus elsewhere. Your name rewrote itself on the page. He tried to allocate this authority to someone safer by the world's calculus. Your name rearranged the equation. He could not escape it because I would not allow him to escape my design. The transfer he is preparing is not flattery, it is fulfillment. Power of attorney. Those words will seem too big for your mouth at first, like a fruit you cannot bite without help. Do not fear their size. I will teach your tongue how to carry them, your hands how to steward them, your heart how to keep them clean. Power of attorney means the right to act, to sign, to decide, to open what others said was forever sealed to you. It means rooms that required permission now require your presence. It means signatures that once stopped you will now start you. It means the authority that was hoarded in other seasons is being placed in your grasp to be used with humility and boldness at the same time. I am trusting you with this because I know what you do when no one is watching. You listen. You are unaware of who he is to you. I call him the hidden benefactor I appointed to bridge you from one shore to the next. You do not need to chase an identity for him that satisfies your curiosity before it satisfies my purpose. Be content to know this. He is part of the architecture I designed to move you from delay into deployment. He is a stone in the sling I have placed in your hand. You do not worship stones, but they bring down giants when I breathe on them. You do not worship men, but they carry assignments like couriers who understand the weight of the letter they bear. He is a courier of authority. You are the addressee. Now hear the urgency, because obedience has a clock, and you are standing inside a window that is open but not idle. When I say, open by September 27th, I am not playing with your fear, I am protecting your harvest. This is not superstition. This is not the manipulation you escaped from in smaller rooms. This is timing, holy timing, like tides that turn whether or not anyone is standing on the shore to respect them. By the dawn of that day, you must open what I am placing in front of you. Open the message. Open the document. Open the conversation you fear will expose you as unprepared. Open the instructions you thought would be above your understanding. I will meet you in the opening. Delay will try to dress like discernment. Do not be fooled. Procrastination will try to disguise itself as prudence. Do not host it. If you do not open, I will still love you, but the transfer will be diverted to fields that are ready to receive before the harvest rots in the wagon. The wealthy man has already set his heart to give. His heart will not change, but his recipient can. I am not threatening you, I am telling you the truth about timing so you can stand inside it without trembling. My mercy is vast like an ocean, but ships still miss ports when they ignore the harbor light. Look up, the light is on for you. Step where it shines. You ask, how will I know it is not a trap? You will test by peace and by pattern. Peace that is not flatteringly loud, but deep like water held in a stone bowl. Pattern that aligns with the integrity you have practiced, not the shortcuts you repented of. I do not require you to turn your brain off to obey. I made your mind precise on purpose. You will see documents come that carry clarity instead of chaos, terms that liberate instead of bind, counsel that confirms rather than confuses. The signatures will not demand your dignity as a down payment, they will require your responsibility as a steward. Read carefully. Ask wisely. Do not rush because of fear, move quickly because of faith. There is a difference, and I will teach your feet to feel it. I am untying the knots you could never reach because your hands were bound by the same rope. I am sending those knots to you already loosened. Your part is to pull the final thread and watch the rope fall. Do not call it a miracle you do not deserve. Call it a promise finally visible. I will not apologize for blessing you in a way that offends those who measured your worth by seasons where you were unfinished. I finish what I begin. I am finishing this, and suddenly does not mean sloppily. Suddenly means that years of careful building will appear to arrive overnight to people who did not see the foundation poured in tears. I saw every pore. I counted every tear. I used them for cement. There are people who will be surprised by the door that opens to you, but there is a person who will be threatened by it. I am not asking you to fear them, I am warning you not to answer their manipulation with explanations. You owe no one an apology for a door I open. You owe me your obedience, your gratitude, your honesty, and your readiness to serve with what I place in your hand. Do not spend your oil appeasing the unthirsty. Pour it on the journey I map out. You will see faces attempt to return with smiles that forgot your name in your wilderness. Bless them, but do not hand them the keys I am giving you. Keys in the wrong hands become cages. Keys in your hands will become corridors where many can walk without striking their knees on the stones that bruised you. You worry about competence. I answer with comfort and with coaches. I am sending wise counsel who have no hunger for your throne because they have one of their own. They will not clamor for credit, they will lay blueprints on the table and invite you to ask the kinds of questions you used to be afraid would expose your gaps. Ask them. Learn fast. You are allowed to be new without being naive. You are allowed to be humble without being invisible. The wealthy man is transferring authority, and I am transferring wisdom so you can hold what is handed to you without trembling. If a cup is too full for unsteady hands, it spills. I steady your hands now. This transfer is not merely about money or access. It is about stewardship of a story larger than your address and older than your fears. There are communities tied to decisions you will sign. There are children whose futures will be shaped by resources that move when you authorize movement. There are quiet streets that will receive light because you refuse to hoard what flows through you. You are not a reservoir, you are a riverbed. Rivers are trusted with volume because they understand flow. I am not giving you a dam to hoard. I am giving you channels to guide. Make choices that let mercy travel far. Do not reduce my kindness to a transaction. It is a covenant. I am not bartering your obedience for a gift, I am aligning your path with assignments you begged me to use you for when you said, if you ever raise me, I will be a shelter. Those words were not forgotten. Now shelter. Shelter ideas so they can grow. Shelter people so they can sleep. Shelter dreams that were mocked so they can stand up without limping. When authority arrives, let compassion drive. Use signatures to set tables, not traps. Use access to open windows, not mirrors that admire themselves. You have seen what self-importance does to the soul. Remain small in your own eyes while remaining large in your courage. I am removing the habit of postponing joy until after the next fear is answered. Joy is not a reward for the fearless, it is a resource for the faithful. Drink it now. Let joy oil your voice so your yes does not sound like a funeral. Let gratitude soften your shoulders so you do not carry tomorrow's weight on tonight's bones. Rest does not mean inactivity, it means activity without panic. As you read the line items, as you take the calls, as you open the files, as you practice the phrases that once made your tongue feel clumsy, breathe me in. I will be in the room when you cannot find words. I will place a sentence in your mouth that lays a bridge between you and someone whose language is profit. They will feel your integrity like a steady hand on a ship's wheel. There will be a night, soon, when you wake and think you dreamed all of this. That night will be mercy testing your memory. Answer it with a truth you can hold. I did not chase this, it chased me because God sent it. That sentence will lock the door against pride and fear at the same time. Pride will try to take credit, fear will try to predict failure. Neither will be landlord here. I am the landowner, and I am leasing you a meadow with rivers and a horizon wide enough to grow into. Plant what I tell you to plant. Harvest what I tell you to harvest. Leave corners of your field for the gleaners, because I will always entrust you with more than you need so that your excess becomes someone else's enough. You have been faithful in the micro. Now be faithful in the magnitude. Remember the mornings you moved quietly so you didn't wake others, whispering prayers in the hallway. I heard those whispers as symphonies. Remember the days you returned change you found that was not yours. I saw those coins become anchors that kept your ship from drifting when larger currents tempted it. Remember the nights you forgave without audience. I kept those records in a ledger no auditor can erase. These small obediences were not wasted. They were witnesses writing your eligibility for the role you are stepping into now. Guard your heart in this visibility. Not everyone who claps wants you standing. Some clap to measure the size of your footsteps. Some will ask questions not for answers but for angles. Smile. Bless. Refuse entanglement. You are not required to explain your covenant to curiosity. You are required to live it. Let your results answer questions you don't need to hear. Let your peace be louder than their predictions. Let your choices be slow enough to be wise and quick enough to be obedient. I will teach you the rhythm. You will not miss a beat if you let me lead. There is an address you have not visited that will soon become familiar. In that place, you will sit at a table where maps are spread, and the wealthy man will look at you not as a token but as a trustee. He will speak of continuity, of legacy, of the joy he finds in knowing what he steward will outlive him. He will call you a surprise he did not know his story needed. You will feel me in the room like sunlight on your shoulder. Do not shrink. Do not apologize for being the fulfillment of a quiet prophecy I hid inside him. Raise your head. Speak honestly. Listen more than you speak, but when you speak, let your words be simple enough to be strong. If fear tries to rehearse old scenes in your mind, interrupt it with new lines. Say, I open because God said open by the appointed day. Say, I sign only what aligns with the peace He gives. Say, I will not trade my integrity for acceleration. Say, my name is not an accident in these documents, my name is an assignment. Speak these aloud. The atmosphere listens. Your bones listen. Your history listens and bows. I am cleansing the memory of past humiliations from the places where you will walk. Rooms that once felt like hallways of judgment will feel like halls of promise. The eyes that once looked through you will look to you for guidance. Some will test you to see if you crave their approval. Pass the test by craving my presence. Approval is unstable fuel, presence is fire that does not consume what it purifies. Stand in it. Burn bright without burning out. There will be celebration. Have it. Do not postpone gladness to prove you are holy enough to handle responsibility. Holiness rejoices. Holiness laughs without fear of tomorrow because it knows who holds tomorrow. Invite those who prayed when you could not, those who guarded your name when others traded it for gossip. Honor them. Feed them. Let them see the fruit of prayers they planted in your drought. This is how you treat harvest, with humility, with generosity, with awe. Before the day breaks on the 27th, open. Not later, not maybe, not after rehearsing failure one more time. Open the email, the letter, the call, the door. Open your hands to receive the authority I sent by a courier with silver hair and steady eyes. Open your heart to believe that I am this good and not embarrassed to be this generous to you. Open your mouth to bless what I bless. Open your calendar to make room for appointments that look like assignments. Open your home to peace so that pressure waits outside on the porch like rain you can hear but don't have to stand in. If you open and your knees tremble, let them. Knees remember altars. Bow once more and stand again. I will steady you. If you open and the document glows like a doorway, step through. I will meet you on the other side with counsel that has been waiting for you to arrive. If you open and voices from old seasons accuse you of being unworthy, silence them by remembering that worthiness was never the ticket, my choosing was. I choose you. I have chosen you in rooms you never entered, and now I am choosing you in rooms everyone can see. Receive the choice. Wear it like a mantle, not a mask. This wealthy man is not your source, I am. If a river forgets its spring, it dries even beside mountains. Do not forget me. If he falters, I will not. If he changes, I do not. If he grows weary, I am everlasting. Your gratitude to him will be real and right, but your worship belongs to me alone. Keep this ordering and you will not drown in praise or wither under pressure. You will move as one who knows the source, and that knowledge will anchor you when winds attempt to turn celebration into temptation. Now take a breath, because even in urgency there is room for breathing. I am not shouting to frighten you, I am trumpeting to gather you. I am summoning everything I planted in you to the front lines of your life, where they belong. Courage, come forward. Clarity, come forward. Compassion, come forward. Competence, come forward. Joy, come forward. Honor, come forward. Humility, stand beside boldness and do not argue, you were made to walk together. When the moment arrives, and it is arriving, these will go with you, not behind you. You are my letter. You are my proof that deserts can hold orchards if I speak to the seeds. You are my reminder to tired souls that waiting is not the same as wasting and that I do not tease the faithful with mirages. I deliver. I am delivering now. I am not late. I am not reluctant. I am delighted. I am the God who writes names into places once guarded by fear, and I am writing yours where no eraser can reach. Open by the morning of September 27th, and watch what I do. If you look back in 30 days, you will barely recognize the landscape your obedience grows. If you look back in a year, you will stand in fields that were once language you only dared to pray after midnight. You will touch doors that were once the endings of other people's stories and discover they were beginnings for you. You will sign to release projects that carry the scent of heaven into houses that forgot what hope smells like. You will cry because you will remember that I heard you when you thought you were too small to be heard, and your tears will water the ground for others. Do not try to skip this. Do not negotiate with fear as if it were a partner. It is a thief. It has stolen enough. I have come like a landlord calling a trespasser to leave. Fear will vacate. Doubt will shrink. Confusion will lose the keys it stole from your confidence. Stand in the doorway and say, "This house is not for rent to darkness anymore." Then open. And when you open, do not whisper apologies to the ghost of the life you were supposed to outgrow. Bless it for teaching you, and then shut the door behind you and walk into the rooms I lit. I will walk with you into the office where the first papers wait. I will sit beside you at the table where the man smiles with the relief of obedience kept. I will place my hand over yours when you hold the pen. You will feel a steadiness you did not manufacture. You will sign as one who understands that authority is not a costume but a calling. You will leave that room lighter and heavier at once, lighter of shame, heavier with glory. And when you step outside and the air feels new, lift your face and thank me out loud. The sky will answer. The ground will soften. Your next steps will meet you like friends you forgot you had. This is the message. This is the window. This is the key. This is the hour that ends the long rehearsal and begins the long performance. I am not disturbed by your shaking, I am honored by your yes. Open by the dawn of September 27th. Receive what I have sent from the hands I appointed. Carry it with the humility of one who knows they are loved and the boldness of one who knows they are sent. And as you go, remember this above everything else: I am with you. I am for you. I am in you. I am ahead of you. What I open, none can shut. What I give, none can steal. What I bless, storms can wet but cannot drown. Go now. Open. And watch me be God.